Good morning, Uganda Extra. Thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome back from Sports with Ruben Mpima Kasera Chibirango. Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, that is in case you've just joined us. And this morning, we want to look at water for all, more so the Kampala water supply. And with me on set, in case you have just joined, this is Good Morning Uganda. It's an extension of Good Morning Uganda. And I'm humbled to have Engineer Mahamud Lutaya, who is the General Manager, Kampala Water. Now, this takes in Kampala, Mukono, and Wakiso districts. So people using water that comes to you through National Water and Sewage Corporation, I have the man who is directly in charge of you. So in case of anything, please send in your messages. But I would humbly request on that topic we are discussing today, because I know when you talk about water, people have so many questions here and there, but let's restrict ourselves to the topic of the day. Thank you so much in advance. Now, good morning, Engineer, and welcome to our studios.
Yes, good morning, Robert, and good morning to all the viewers, and thank you for always inviting us to talk to our customers.
Well, thank you for always taking our invite. Many people only want to come when things are okay. When you invite them and tell them, hey, we want to host you on such, they'll tell you, wait for some period. But at least with Kampala Water, I can say anytime we call upon them where there is need, they'll always come and explain. Not defend, but explain the situation to Ugandans. Now, to begin with, Engineer, let's look at the status of water supply in Kampala.
Yes, thank you, Robert. Water supply in Kampala, I will talk about it in the last few months. For some of the area, it hasn't been very good because one, I think this year has been a generally dry year, so it's been basically the demand has been very high. The number of areas that have experienced water supply challenges, there are places we know that have had this problem for some time, especially parts of Wakiso, Matuga, Nasana, Kawanda, and these are Chengira, Buddo. Those are areas that have been having intermittent supply. They get some water, but not to the level at which would love to supply them, and also at which customers would want to receive water. But so we had a few challenges even within the CBD, especially parts of Kololo, in the city center there. Once in a while, especially at the time when we had a shutdown of our system. That's the time when Umeme was trying to upgrade the power station. So we closed off for some few hours, and that in a way stabilized the system and took some bit of time for the system to be stable. And I would say right now I think the system is relatively stable, though we still have a few pockets of intermittency which we are trying to deal with. So for the places of Wakiso, Matuga, Chengira, Buddo, we have very good news, because then last month we finally signed a contract with the contractor who is going to do the pipe upgrades and also rehabilitation of the network, including also construction of like 3 reservoirs that's supposed to basically address the water supply challenge in those places. So once that project is done, then, like I said, I've always mentioned, we have enough water in Gaba and Katosi. Our challenge has always been how do you transport this water so that it benefits everyone. So this project, what's supposed to do is make sure that all the water that we have right now, because Katosi, we're operating almost at almost 40% capacity. So we have almost 60% unused capacity. So what this project is supposed to do is make sure that all that capacity now is utilized so that people get water. So once it's done, then I can guarantee Wakiso, Matuga, Buddo, Chengira, Bulenga, Nasana, and Kawanda, all those places that water supply. The areas of Kololo, if you see also Kololo has greatly changed. What used to be bungalows, we have now very high-raised apartments. And also the demand there also increased. So what we're trying to do is also upgrade the infrastructure there. We're trying also to put up a bigger tank We had a small tank at Summit View, So we're trying to upgrade that tank as well, so that definitely for Kololo area and the customers there, we want to believe in the next 3 months that problem would also be solved. So as a corporation, our commitment has been very clear for all these times to make sure that, okay, water and sanitation for all. And for the case of Kampala, definitely, given how sensitive it is, the capital city, our community makes sure that everyone who stays in Kampala and who lives in Kampala, works in Kampala, has access to water, but also water which is affordable and also safe for use.
Now, in relation to that, let's talk about the new connections to water supply. What is the process like, if that?
Yeah, with new connections, and that's why, again, I want first of all thank our customers. I think we are lucky that we have a very good rapport with our customers, that there are cases where we have challenges, and as long as we explain to them, they've been very patient and understanding.
Actually, I want to commend your public relations department.
Yes.
Because anyone will agree with me, as long as you have a meter registered in your name,
yeah,
you get all these messages ahead of time.
Yes.
You don't have these shocks, water has gone. In my area, at least I do get them.
Yeah.
I commend that team's very vibrant.
No, thank you for appreciating. But you see, the customers that put us to this state, because once they demand, and that's why for us, it's very okay to get this feedback from our customers, especially areas where we're not doing well. So for the last few months, we initially had a challenge of meters, that we didn't have the meters for new connections. But even with that challenge, we still managed to connect our customers through a number of means, but in a way that created a backlog. But right now, what I can tell our customers is that now we have all the meters we need, and we have made a commitment that all the backlog we've had, not just in National Water, but not just in Kampala, but in all other areas, that we're committing that by end of this month, we want to make sure that backlog is cleared. So let no one tell you that there are no meters anymore. So we have the meters. The only issue we would request customers to be patient with. Sometimes everyone wants to be connected immediately. So we're just trying to clear backlog, but the commitment is that by end of this month, every customer should have whoever applied for water should have their connection made. This is what we want to inform our customers, that the small challenge we had of no meters, it was just a hiccup we had in our supply chain, which has now been sorted, and we want to believe it won't happen again. But right now the priority is whoever applied for his connection should have it. Our commitment always is that if you apply and you've made your payment, within 10 days you should get a connection, maximum. So we had created quite of a big backlog, and we want to clear it by end of this month. So after that, again, we go back to our customers that the moment you apply, we know most cases by the time you apply for water, you really, really need it, and should be able to give it to you. So no staff of ours, no any person should tell you that National Water doesn't have meters or doesn't have materials. We have all the materials and we have all the meters. And I request our customers and the public, don't give your money to anyone, because the system is that if you're applying for a connection, you pay through the different payment platform or through the bank. You don't give any person cash. Because then whoever is asking for cash, just know that that person has other intentions. So don't give any staff of ours money, because the money you pay to the corporation is enough to give you the service. So the moment you pay, just demand for the service. Let no one tell you that there's an express connection if you pay extra, because some people are being told that there's express new connection. You know, the way people are applying for passports, that if you want a passport very fast, there's a formal payment. So for us, every connection is express, and all you have to do is pay through the normal systems, and your connection should be made. If anyone is asking for money outside that, then we request that again you're able to raise that issue, and we'll be able to deal with it.
Now, Engineer, good news is you've let the public, because the scarcity created a lot of concerns. When someone tells you, yes, you applied, but tewali meter, tewali meter, and you know, it became an excuse, and someone like, but if I've paid for water now, this brings in the question. Kampala Metropolitan is expanding every day. What used to be rural areas are now urban centers, so they are eating up. Now, as Kampala Water, what new plans, tell us about the new projects that you're having on board to be able to meet this ever-growing challenge?
Okay, thank you, Robert. What you're raising is we're looking at it a lot as an opportunity. One, to serve more Ugandans, which is the reason why we exist as National Water, but also to grow the business, because we're also in this for the benefit of the business. So the growth in Kampala, the rate at which it's growing, is giving us a very great opportunity. The good thing is that as an organization, I think we're in a very good place, because we have the infrastructure, a very sound infrastructure right now. We have the capacity to supply this demand. When, like I told you right now, with Gaba and Katosi, we are able to produce, the capacity to produce, because Gaba does around 240, then Katosi right now can do 160. So that gives us the capacity to 400 million liters of water. But also we have plans even to add another 80,000 on Katosi. That will make it almost 480. So I would say that we have the capacity to produce water. Now the challenge we had was, how do we make sure this water that we produce from Gaba and from Katosi can reach to everyone wherever they are. And that's what I talked about earlier. That's of Matuga, the parts of Kawanda. Right now Matuga, they have a few challenges, very serious challenges with water. Wakiso has always been a pain for us, and we really appreciate the people who have been very, very patient. But sometimes also your patience can be tested. And we understand when they feel the way they are feeling. But the most important thing is something that has also been paining us. But the good thing right now, like I told you, the contract was signed, the works are going to start immediately next month. And we're doing it in such a way that we can even commission some sections.
So what is that project called? We call it Package 2B, as part of the Kampala Water Sanitation Improvement Plan. And it's aimed at trying to upgrade the work. Purposely, we're laying or constructing around 71 kilometers of pipe network, big pipes, like some of the ones you've been seeing, we've been laying recently, so that they're able to carry more water to supply those particular areas. Also, we're trying to construct a big tank, which is with a capacity of almost 10 million in Kanyanya there. And also we're trying to do another tank in Mutungo. We're doing another tank in Kabulenga. So we're doing 3 tanks. So a number of booster stations to boost supply. Let me just ask my technical team to give me a map. There's a map.
Yes, there's a map
of this water, so that the engineer audience can better understand that.
Yes.
Please send us. Yes.
So when you look at the red line, those red line, it shows you the pipe network that is going to be laid. So we're putting bigger pipes that's supposed to supply the areas that I've mentioned. Definitely one of the biggest challenges we're going to have when we're doing that is access and leeway. But again, this is an area where we've worked very well with the communities, because they know the reason why we're doing this, to serve them. So that map shows you the 71 kilometers I mentioned, which places they are targeting. So the big tank, it's somewhere there in Kanyanya. Okay, you might not be able to see it, but we have a 10,000 or 10 million liter tank that we're putting up in Kanyanya. So the pipe work comes from Namugongo. That's where we're tapping from. The last phase of the project has a big pipe in Namugongo, so we're connecting that Namugongo. It runs through Chira, Buate, Kungu, then it goes to Kanyanya. That's why we put a big tank. Then from Kanyanya, our pipe is supposed to run through Kayaga, then it goes all the way to what? To Matuga. Also in Matuga, we have a tank there, around 600 liters, 600,000 liters. So Matuga, then we have another line that runs from Gombe, then Wakiso. Again, we have a tank there, which is around 200,000 liters. Then we have another line that will pass Bujuko, all the way to Muyomba. So that's the kind of extension we are doing. It's a massive project, but I think we've been preparing for it for all this time. So most of the preparatory work has been done, and we want to do it as fast as possible, because we know most customers are facing very serious challenges. So that's one of the projects we're doing. Now, also trying to upgrade our pumps in Gaba, because some of them have been working.
Yes.
So the corporation has put in place a very aggressive program to make sure that most of the pumps are upgraded to more efficient pumps, so that we don't experience the frequent maintenance and breakdown that we've been having. And we believe by end of February, basically, most of those pumps there would be upgraded. What that means is that we will have, again, be able to maximize the capacity of the Gaba system. And then places like the city center I've been talking about, Kololo, we also now won't have any more challenges. Then there are particular sections we're trying to upgrade as well. Like I told you, we're trying to low area in terms of focusing it, because there's a lot of, with the development that has happened there, we might have to do a lot of infrastructure upgrades when it comes to the pipe work. Because we find that some of the pipes that are in there have been there for some time, and they were designed for a small population.
When
and a lot has changed.
Residential areas.
Yes, exactly.
Now apartments have come up.
You find that the pressure sometimes is not enough to reach some of the raised apartments. So trying to upgrade the pipe work there, and we're working together with the community and the stakeholders to make sure that it's done smoothly. So what I can promise the customers, especially in Kampala, that the corporation is very, very committed to make sure that we would provide them with safe and reliable water.
Now that takes me to another question mostly asked by many Ugandans. Why should they pay for water, and what are the water tariffs? Now, before I do that, I just want to remind you that you can be part of the topic of discussion. The number is going to be popping up on your screen. Just send me a WhatsApp message. Please do not call on that number, but send a WhatsApp message, and engineer will be responding to most of the questions or concerns that you will be putting forward. Please, the number is coming up on your screen, and now let's look at why you should pay your water bills, and actually what exactly should you be paying. Yes, engineer.
There's always been that,
this is a natural resource. You know?
There's always been that debate that it's free, it's God-given, it's
picked from our lake,
picked from the lakes. Why should we pay for it? But I think one thing that we all agree with is water has a value. Anything that has a value has, most cases, a price. So why should people pay for water? Is what National charges is the value addition we put on the water that you pick from the lake. If we had a chance, unfortunately today we don't have those images of the quality of water in the lake, especially the points where I pick water from. You find that over time the quality has seriously deteriorated. So it from the lake, in most cases getting it from there, we have to pump it. So we pump it, then we have all these systems I've talked about in Gaba and Katosi, where this water has to be purified. So we treat it, we add chemicals, we sieve it, you know. So it goes through a very rigorous process, so making sure that by the time it leaves, it is safe for consumption. So that process is very expensive. By the time you get water which looks as dirty can look, and comes out to be as clean and safe for drinking, it means that you have put in quite a lot of resources. So we spend a lot on chemicals, we spend a lot on power. Kampala alone, every month we pay close to, right now, 4+ billion in power costs. So that's the money we pay to Umeme, just for power for Kampala alone. Then chemicals, we spend almost close to 2 billion shillings, so chemicals. So we have to buy, and most of these chemicals are imported. Right now we're trying to see how we can have some of these chemicals in-country manufactured. So we spend on power, we spend on chemicals, and then definitely carrying from Gaba, pumping it to Muyenga, and then it coming to the different customers. There's a lot of pipe maintenance works that go on. So there are materials we buy to do the maintenance. There are people we have on the ground that provide all this service. So there's a cost to all this, and basically that's what our customers pay for. So paying for, and I think there's a chart that would show.
Let me ask a chart showing the bills.
What the cost,
tariffs, maybe.
the tariff we have for water. And this water, our tariffs, we have made sure that we don't increase it. So what we've basically done is just index it.
I hope my technical team puts that on the screen so that our viewer can get to the tariffs.
Yes. So that chart basically gives you an idea of what our tariff structure is. We have basically 7 bands. That not every person is able to afford the service. So there's the proper tariff, and this is a tariff that caters for Muntu wa wansi. So that one, a unit is around 1,060 shillings per cubic meter. A cubic meter is 1,000 liters. So this is before VAT. But in simple terms, a 20-liter jerry can costs for 25 shillings on this tariff. So that's how affordable. I won't say cheap, because cheap things have little value. Water has value. So that's how affordable water is. Then we have the domestic customers, and basically these are the majority. It's you. As long as they have water that comes to your home, we consider you as a domestic customer. And it is 4,307 shillings per cubic meter without VAT, or 101 shilling with VAT included for a 20-liter jerry can. So right now, a 20-liter jerry can costs 102 shillings. 20 liters.
102
shillings only. And this water has come to your home. So to go and pick it from the what? So if you have it, and if you have plumbed it in your home, you're basically opening your tap, and that's how much you pay. Then we have the institutions or government institutions. This could be also schools fall under this, and hospitals. There, a 20-liter jerry can cost 402 shillings. And then you have the commercial customers, basically those who are using water for business, including the hotels. Again, a 20-liter jerry can goes for 121 shillings. Then we have if you use more water for commercial purposes, beyond more than 1,500 cubic meters, then your tariff goes a bit down. So the more you use, the more we try to make sure that you pay less. Then you have the industrial customers, those that are basically using more than 1,000 cubic meters. The tariff is trying to make sure that we support industrialization, so that we have our industries, our products competitive. Yeah, definitely. Yes. So government and the corporation saw it fit that for such industries we have to support them in a way. And they have, I think, the second lowest tariff. That means that a 20-liter jerry can goes for only 59 shillings. So, like I said, I can't say water is cheap, because anything cheap then has little value. But definitely it's affordable, and when you compare to other commodities, then it's something that we can. And so when you look at the people who don't have it, how much they pay? They pay much, much more than this. So sometimes customers have not taken effort to understand it and to see how they can manage it. And so sometimes because of the usage, you can end up with a high bill, and then you say the price is expensive. Yet it's not, the problem is not the price, but how you basically use the water. So again, we want to always sensitize our customers to make sure they use it very cautiously. You don't leave the tap running, because when it means that's all water that's going to be billed to you. But also recently we've had quite a number of experiences with our customers that, because some of our homes have been in existence for some time. So you find some of the plumbing system is due for replacement. So you can have a leakage after the meter. And this leakage, every time at the end of the month, you pay quite a big bill. Not because you have used the water, because water is somehow being wasted. I had an experience with a customer who came and rightly complained that even if I'm not at home and we've all gone to the village, I continue paying the same what? As even when I'm what? So when we visited and investigated, we realized he had a leakage after the meter. Because definitely if you have a leakage, whether you're not around or you're around, water will continue flowing. So we want to encourage and request customers, if you have any challenge with the bill, kindly raise it. For us, we're there to serve you. Okay? So don't treat it that the corporation is trying to make money out of you. We want to make sure that what the customer consumes is what they pay for. There is no benefit you get by giving a bill that you haven't what? Consumed. But also there has been also some bit of misunderstanding in terms of the interpretation of the bill. Some customers have taken long, they take long to pay.
Yes.
So you've taken 3 months without payment. Then all of a sudden you see a bill. Now you find that this bill is for 3 months. But the fact that you've got it today, you interpret that the bill is for what?
For
1 month. And when you pay only 1 month, and maybe you are in arrears for 2 months. So that has created a lot of misunderstanding on the side of the customer. Thought that the problem is the bill, yet the problem is on the what? On how you're paying. And
your
that's why
payment plan.
Yeah, your payment culture. So I want to encourage our customers, again, consistently pay your bill. Because the moment you pay it every month, then you're going to find this bill very manageable. The moment you want to accumulate, then definitely it's going to be a very big challenge for you to pay.
Well, very important to note is, first and foremost, do you have a leakage or you don't have a leakage? Then second, how do you use water? We still have a problem that we don't prioritize water, how we use it. You find someone has a car, then you have a hose pipe, you wash, the kids are enjoying playing around, then if you have the flowers, you water them as to when and you feel you've looked at them. So at the end of the day, the bill becomes very huge for you. But also, important is that sometimes you get a bill that is for 3 months, 4 months, and you look at it as 1 month, and you make that a problem. Now, coming to the bills, Engineer Lutaya, customers no longer get paper bill. Those days it was easy. They will tell you the paper, they brought the bill here. You know, men, when you get back home, among the things that welcome you, you sit, take a cup of tea. Engineer Sam understands that. I don't know if Madame Vivian gets it, but for the men, they know it. After you've sat in the sitting room relaxing, then what comes? Daddy. Bill. Yeah. And that is when you look at it. But these guys of National Water, how do they tell me 90,000, 100,000? Yeah. But at least that would make people be conscious and maybe reminded. Nowadays, I don't remember the last got a paper bill. It is the e-billing. Yeah. Please throw more light to this and the benefit, because some of us, the other one was a better reminder. Everybody in the family would know bill. The bill came.
Yeah. The e-bill was supposed to create more convenience for our customers. One, and this came basically from the feedback, again, we got customers, especially even in the time when we had COVID, where no one wanted even to touch a paper that another person has touched. But so the world has greatly changed. And you find that, like you said, you would only see this bill when you get back home. And yet, you need to be able to see the bill anywhere you are. So what is, we don't want you to wait to go home to see the bill. We try to make sure that wherever you are, whether you're outside the country, whether you're going to the village, whether you're at work, you get your what? Bill, and should be instant. And that's what it's helping you. So we're trying to empower our customers to look at this bill. The good thing, again, when it comes you even have a history. All these are saved. So you're able to check the bill for the last month or last 3 months, because you have the messages on your phone. So it's supposed to generate that level of convenience, that level of empowerment, that level of trust of the system, and that's really the intention. Definitely with some bit of challenges, because sometimes it takes time for people to transit from an old system to a new system. But again, we want to thank most of our customers. They've really appreciated the new system. We definitely still need to do a lot of engagement and sensitization to those that are still having challenges. But basically what we're trying to do is transfer whatever information you had from the paper bill, the same information you still have right now with this system. Nothing has changed as far as the process is concerned. The only thing that has changed is that instead of someone coming here paper right now, we can still have our staff coming to your home, they read the meter, and then immediately you receive the bill on your phone. If you have an email, we send it on your email. But the other thing, we even went a step further, but by creating a very interactive platform on our website. But so those that have mobile apps, you're also able to download the NWC app. Now through this app, you're able to track your bill history. Now previously when you have, and that's why when you have any challenge with the bill, you would have to ask, and then you call National, and then you print for your statement. Now you have the convenience to generate that statement for yourself. You can even decide, I want to look at my history for the last, let's say, 5 years. You'll be able to generate that statement for yourself. You look at how much you've been consuming. Then you look at which months have always had high consumption. So it allows you to do that. The other thing that also it allows you to do is even predict your bill. Means that if you haven't got your bill, and most customers have said that I don't get the bill, you can go to the meter, because the meter is at your premises. You have access to this meter. You're the one keeping it basically. You go and pick the reading on that meter and put it into the system. It will tell you what your bill is going to, because the system already has the record of your previous bill. So to be able to know that, okay, next month or by today, if you're to pay, your bill is so much. So you're able to check and confirm that whether the bill that Nashota at the end of the day gives you is genuine or not, or that is with you. And we want to encourage our customers to know that we have tried to empower them to critique our system. You understand? So when you say, I have a problem with my bill, you can even check it yourself. You can validate it yourself, because you have the meter, you have the information that our people come to pick. Actually, for you can have it even on a daily basis. And then we've given you a platform through which you can even compute yourself for the bill. By the time you pay, you're very sure. Now, where you find you're not comfortable, you're not satisfied, you engage us, and we'll be there to respond. And I think we've tried to make sure that we are as responsible as possible. We have a few challenges, definitely, like any system, but these are challenges we are continuously working on. And we want to believe that if we continue to work together with our customers, then definitely we'll make sure that we want to have delighted customers, not just happy and satisfied, but people who are going to be delighted with our service.
Well, let's just go back to the other slide that we had, the National Water and Storage Payment Plan, because we are talking about bills. Now, let's look at the different forms of pay. Because like we've talked about the billing, let's now also look at that is the blue
slide, the payment options.
The payment options for National Water. Take us through them.
So I think National was one of the first entities to phase out cash payment. So we've been cashless the last almost, I would say, close to 20 years. Because we realized that as the system grows, the customer needs to be confident that the money paid is going to the right what. When you pay someone your cash, sometimes you're not sure whether it is put into the what. So we have made sure that, again, for purpose of convenience, created different payment options for our customers. Means that, one, you can pay through the mobile platform, you can pay through MTN, you can pay through Airtel, you can pay through the pay machines, Payway. Then also you can pay through most of the banks, there are partner banks. The other option we've created to our customers is that you can actually even have direct debit. So what direct debit does, again, most people are very busy. They don't want to be engaged in daily or monthly payments. So you register with us and register with your bank, so that you give your bank permission that every month, as long as the bill is what is verified, automatically the payment is made off your account. And a number of our customers on that option, that you don't have to wait as of paying through the mobile pay, or mobile money. The money is automatically picked off your account. Now we're working together with the different providers, especially for mobile money, and you find that they're running a number of promotions. Right now, Airtel is running a number of promotions. If you pay through Airtel Money, you even stand a chance to get free airtime, free data, and I think even they have Rumurak, Maja. There are a number of promotions they are running. The same with mobile money, MTN. They're also running a number of promotions. Even there's a possibility of getting an air ticket, something like that. So again, we're working with them to see how do we make it more convenient for customers to pay, but also as they pay for some bit of rewards or cash awards. So we want to encourage our customers that all these things are being done to create convenience for them, but most important, to make it very easy for them to receive the service, but also pay for it.
Now, we've talked about the mode of paying, we've talked about the billing. Now, how do I get connected again? Because that has also been a challenge. You're disconnected, yes, you've not paid the bills. Now, getting back that reconnection becomes another story.
So, Now, usually disconnection should be our last resort. We are moving from a system whereby disconnection was a method of collection, because before, for you to collect money, you disconnect. Want to reach a level whereby disconnection is not even an option for us. And that will be reached if our customers can help us to make sure that these bills are, or if you go on direct debit, you know, then disconnection will never happen. But again, we know that in some cases it happens as a last resort. But if you've been disconnected and you've made the payment through those options we talked about, all you have to do, because again, this is very clear, you're not supposed to pay anyone reconnection fee, because there have been cases where someone has come to a customer and told him that if you want to be reconnected, you have to pay me the money to reconnect you. Now, reconnect through our normal system, and once you've been reconnected, once you've paid for the reconnection, then we'll make sure that within that very day, you should be able to be reconnected. Now, if you haven't, again, you engage us on our different platforms through either our social media platforms or our toll-free number, then we should be able to make sure that the connection is done that very day. So our policy or commitment is that the moment you pay, that very day should definitely be reconnected.
Well, questions are now so many here. And I don't know where to start from. At least the lucky few, I must say. Good morning. Thanks for the program with the National and Corporation. Please, account number, someone gives us account number or meter number was read, but up to now I have not got my e-bill. Otherwise, I enjoy your excellent, thanks and blessed day.
So you get that number. Yeah.
Excellent customer service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for appreciation.
Someone says, good morning, about the meters, engineer, please assure us, because they keep on telling us that our meters are not yet out. I hope you've been following the program. Another says, I want to thank National Water, also Kampala Water, he says, for the good work. However, some of your people are harsh. Now this is Nabulime Karo, he says, good morning and thank you for the program. I'm watching from where you get it, but our water keeps going on and off. Engineer, please rectify that problem. Another one, thank you, engineer. Now for me, who is a tenant, how do I get that e-bill? Because my landlord gets them, but what about me? Yet I pay for water. Another one comes in and says, good morning, UBC. Thank you for that program and thank. My only concern is, how do I identify a genuine staff from one who is not? These are dangerous days. Okay, but I question so much time. Let's first go with only those.
Okay, thank you, Robert, and we want to appreciate our customers, especially those that have appreciated our service, and we want to commit that we'll make sure that we continue and even serve you better. I want to assure, again, all the customers and all the viewers, especially those that have applied for water, that right now we have all the meters they need. And right now, what I can say that today you go and pick a what, because there's a backlog. So sometimes all they have to tell you is be clear when you should get a connection. When you go to our office, they should tell you that within 1 week or 2 weeks should be able to be connected. But our commitment right now is that by the end of this month, we should have cleared the whole backlog that we've had. And then after that, we go back to our commitment that within 10 days after payment, definitely we should be able to connect you. Again, there's a customer who raised that we have cases where we have harsh staff. I think that has been noted.
Also when they know they are coming to disconnect.
Exactly, they can be, you know, so that has been noted and we're going to follow it up. Particularly, I'll be interested in that customer. After here, I think we get the details so that we really follow up. Our policy is don't tolerate, our motto is customer is the reason we exist. And we want to have delighted customers. So we'll do everything possible to make sure that our customers are happy and appreciate our service. Madam Nabulime from Bweyogerere raised the concern of, I think, water supply in Bweyogerere. We shouldn't have any problem in Bweyogerere, ideally. So I'm going to take this up, and I think I'll get her details, because that is the area that is now being supplied from Katosi, and those places are basically very stable. So if there's a problem, it must be localized, and I think we can follow it up and get to the bottom of it. So I will take her concern up, and I'm going to follow it up. Then so we created our system that you can register as a landlord, you can register as a tenant. So once you register as a tenant, you're still able to get a bill, and then even able to track how that account behaves. Now you can even change, if you've been a tenant today in Bwaise and you shifted to Boyogere, you can now change even on the system, say that now I've moved from here, now in Boyogere, now you start getting the bill of Boyogere. So that's how convenient and easy we've made it to be. So again, we can follow up with some of the customers. If you have any challenge with this system, you can approach.
I think that is very good. And just a landlord telling you, for your month, water is this amount.
No.
Yes, yet you're using.
And that's what I told you about. This is for convenience for both landlords, because also before, landlords were not able to track, because like you say, to the premises, you understand? So you can imagine your landlord in Machinde, you have rentals, let's say in Nasana. So you wouldn't see the bills for your tenants. But right now with this system, as a landlord, you can actually view all your accounts. Some people are lucky enough that they have quite a number of properties in the city. And before, it used to be very hard to track whether your tenants are paying water. Now, for this system, as a landlord, you can track all your properties. But also as a tenant, you also can have that opportunity to see. So you can register as a tenant. Also, you can register as what? As a landlord. And this is all for purposes of convenience. Then there was a question on how do I identify a genuine staff from those that are not what? Genuine. There are two ways. One, we've made sure that also we make our uniforms a bit well customized, and I think you've seen one of them, you know. We have, and even the uniform carries the name of that person. So you're able to validate that information. Our staff come with IDs. Yeah, they should be able to show you their ID. And also that you have an opportunity to validate that through our toll-free line and also our offices. If there's a person you suspect, then you can validate it through our offices that, okay, I have a staff here by names of ABC. Does he belong to the occupation? They're able to validate that. But most important, ours is more or less a relationship with our customers. So what we've done in Kampala is make sure that we reach out, and the people that basically interact with you are people you basically are very familiar with. You understand? So we have what we call territories in Kampala. We have close to 210 territories. The territory has like 2,000 customers. And in that territory, we created a team that's supposed to basically be in touch and create a kind of relationship with our customers. So you're going to find that most of these people are people you're supposed to interact with on a monthly basis, and that allows you to distinguish from the people that the customer described and the people who are considered to be genuine. But I think the customer is right. Right now we have so many cases of buffere in the system, and I want to request the customer, don't deal with one. Like I said, for us, you don't receive money as staff. So you don't give anyone who's asking for cash, oyongachi mufere. Oyabera mufere. Wadayamba the uniform ya nashonta, that means that person is not trusted. So so that's what should have a uniform, should have an ID, but so we give a platform where you can validate that this is actually our staff.
Very clear now. You can easily identify them. Well, messages are still coming in. One says, thank you so much. How do we help when we have broken pipes? These days we are losing a lot of water. Pipes tetumanyi kizisala but chisuse. Like how do I think when someone wants to report a broken pipe, sometimes you're moving on the road and you find water is splashing all over. Yes.
Oh, okay. For the leakages, it has been one of the biggest challenges we're trying to deal with, and we want to appreciate our customers who have reported these leakages, and they've been very vibrant, because any leakage that is out there means that there's a person who is not getting the service. So when you report it, it helps us, one, be able to fix it the shortest time possible, but also make sure that whichever place is affected is fixed. I mean, is the some of these pipes to break down. We've been having a challenge of roadworks that a number of communities, a number of upgrade their road network, and in doing that, they've ended up damaging some of the pipes. So want to request the communities, if you're trying to work on an upgrade for the road, kindly work with us. Let's work together, because sometimes you have planned to upgrade the line, you don't inform us, and the next thing we hear that the pipe has been cut. Even developers, most people are developing their plots, but you find that where they're developing, we have our, especially along the road. So before you do any development for your property, again, would appreciate if you contact, what we've tried to do as a corporation, make sure that we have quite a good outreach. We have almost close to 33 branches in Kampala and another 34 sub-branches. Means that at least in every location, we have either sub-branch or a branch. So if you're trying to develop your property, one, kindly approach us so that we know if there's a pipe that is passing by, we're able to fix it. And when you find any broken pipe, wherever it is, our commitment is that you inform us and our people will be mobilized in the shortest time possible, make sure that is fixed. Now, I want to apologize because it's an area where we've also not done well as an organization. There are cases where our team has delayed. You report a broken pipe, and the people you report to don't even care. And again, I want to request the public, if you experience such a case, you bring it to their attention. Then we'll make sure that we deal with such cases, because when you have a broken piece, that there's a community out there that is not receiving the service.
Well, time seems to be flying. Chinobe, have seen your message. Also Esther as well, but time is moving. And also my LC1 chairperson, we had planned to discuss your issue, but I think we shall have another show for that. He's talking about the meters for Muntua Wansi, but time has not allowed us. But we shall have another show, I promise. Engineer will find us sometime, and specifically we'll handle that, because also we've had so many messages regarding that, but I think it's a topic of its own. Now let me just have your parting shot.
My parting shot is a thank you to our dear customers and to the public for one, supporting the corporation and supporting our commitment to make sure that we all get water. We want to pay you back by also promising that we, as a corporation, we're going to do everything possible to make sure that everyone, especially in Kampala and operating, gets access to safe water. Definitely there are challenges there. We want to request you to pay your bills. Those that have outstanding bills, kindly make sure that those bills are cleared. Now, we've always been talking about people are stealing water. It is still one of our biggest challenges, that there are still people out there who believe that whatever they get has to be stolen. And even if it's water, they also have to steal. They get satisfaction by stealing, I think. So I want to request such people to avoid or try to not to engage in such an activity, because sometimes the consequences are very, very dire. So I want to thank our customers and request you kindly pay your bills. Those who are stealing water, please don't steal water. Water is affordable, like we showed. It's something that we can all afford. And you paying water is benefiting another person who doesn't have the access to that service.
Well, thank you so much, Engineer Humud Lutaya, General Manager, Kampala Water, for your time and of course explaining our viewers. Yes, messages are so many, we couldn't address each, but for the water for Muntu wa Bulijo or Wansi, many have said Butapu Bombitundu. I hope we shall have engineer, if time allows, even maybe next week, and we discuss that more. Also, we want to thank those that are paying their water bills on time, in time, to avoid disconnections. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.